And welcome you back to On the Hash with Hatfield. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV on YouTube. We have some special guests with us from the Kettle Cougars, the Region 3B champs, yet again as they're getting ready to play the Lake Taylor Titans in the Class 3 state championship on Saturday. We had the head football coach of the Cougars and the Region 3B coach of the year, Delmar Christian, along with a couple of his standout players. We've got Colton Lubbe and Carter Lubbe, as they have been two of the leaders for the Cougars, as you'll see some of the stats scrolling across the ticker here in just a moment here on the Hash with Hatfield. As we say hello to you guys. Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, Colton and Carter. State championship coming up on Saturday, you guys. This is how you dreamed it up in August, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Coach, let me start with you. I know it's been a wild year there at Kettle Run. You losing the state championship game to Liberty Christian, and you end up playing this team, by the way, the state semifinals. Coaching change, you've been on the staff, and we'll get into your background, of course, but the change at the head position, and we won't dive too much into that, some off-the-field things. Take me through the process of now there's a vacancy. You don't know what's going to take place. You have some good players you have to replace, but you also brought back a lot of key components, and here we are in December where I'm not sure too many outside those in your locker room, in your community, those at Kettle Run thought this was even possible.
Yeah, no, again, it's a testament to these young men. When things started to shape up for this year, the one thing that we really wanted was to maintain consistency with the program because we knew we had a good, solid group of seniors and returners coming back, and we just wanted to do right by them. So give them a shot at where we are now, and that we're one away, so I feel pretty good, and I think it was all worth it there at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it's about these young men.
And I want to get the thoughts here of both Colton and Carter here in a moment, as they've been balling out for you all year long. Colton is a senior, Carter is a junior. I think I got that right, guys? Colton
Yes,
senior,
sir.
Carter junior. Okay, good deal. And we'll go through their numbers in a second, as they've been some key contributors. We'll talk about other guys like Dyson Tapscott and Zach Roth, among others here. But, Coach, before I bring them in and get their thoughts on it, last week's game, and your guy that's got a background we'll dig into, Fauquier High School, right? James Madison University. You played this game at a pretty high level. What your
Yes,
kids
sir.
did down 19, I'm in the press box on the NFHS Network calling the Magna Vista Lake Taylor game. People literally had on their brackets LCA written in pencil, not pen. They thought the game was over. How did you guys pull it off? Because at halftime, that had to be one of the best speeches you and your staff ever gave your kids, because second half, you guys looked like the best team in the state. After the first half, not so much.
Yeah, we came out and we didn't really execute really well, and we weren't playing as a team. So, we just had to fix those things. And it's testament to these young men to just, settle in and, hey, things are going to be all right. And, the one key message from that halftime was, hey, we can play with these guys. We just have to prove it to the world now.
For sure. I'm going to start with you here, Colton, as a senior. Then Carter, your brother, can follow up here. And defensive player of the year, I believe it was. You just got in the region. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on that. 61
Thank
total
you.
tackles for this young man, 8 interceptions, a couple for loss. And we'll tell you about Carter's numbers here in a second. He's been balling out, too. You see it scrolling across our ticker here, too. But, Carter, you can follow up here with what Colton says. The coaching change happens. Coach Porterfield steps down, a lot of uncertainty swirling around. When Coach Christian got named the interim head coach, what was y'all's thoughts? Did you feel like, all right, we've got a chance here, senior season for to get back to this thing? How much was that a sigh of relief for you guys, knowing that there was so much uncertainty when that whole thing took place?
Just with like a coach staying that's already been in the program and everything, it was just kind of like a confidence booster, seeing that nothing really was going to change too far outside the box, so we could kind of just stay in our system. And, I feel like it was a sigh of relief for a bunch of our seniors and people who are returning and staying inside the program, that not much was going to change, and we were going to keep being ourselves and being a winning program.
How about for you, Carter? You've had 48 tackles, 4 for loss this year to go with your 981 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns on the ground as you're closing in on 1,000. You're geared up for junior year. People are probably not thinking Kettle Run's going to do too much after the pieces you graduated. Was there also a little bit of a chip on the shoulder and motivation for you all to prove some of the naysayers or doubters wrong, or show what you all were about?
Yeah, we've been, for as long as I've been in the program, that's been a thing since we went to the States the first time back in 23, I believe. It was just one-time thing, and then get right back 2 years later, do it again, and then here we are this year about to go and hopefully win it this time. So, I mean, it doesn't really faze us anymore. We just know we play our brand of ball, and there's not too many teams out there that can really stop us.
Coach Christian, speak on just the unity, the bond you all have at Kettle Run, because certainly what transpired in the last year could have pulled apart a lot of programs and teams and players and coaches. But it feels like, looking at the families, you have the Lubbes here, you have the Tapscotts very much involved. It feels like you have a close-knit group that you weren't going to be broken from what transpired, and this was going to make you all stronger.
Yeah, definitely. We have a close-knit community at Kettle Run just in itself. But really, at the end of the day, like I shared with you earlier, like it came down to, man, this is what these kids deserve. Like, these kids worked hard. You know, we knew they had the potential to do really great things. So we didn't want to let them down. And so, a bunch of us got together and that have that same mindset. That's the thing with this staff is, we have, stitched the staff together in a time that, most people had already put their staffs together. And so it was really that common theme of, hey, let's do it for these kids. So, and again, hats off to these guys, man. They're really something special.
They really are. We're talking with Colton Carter Lubbe and Coach Delmar Christian of the Kettle Run Cougars, getting ready to take on the Lake Taylor Titans in the VHSL Class 3 State Football Championship on Saturday at Liberty University in Lynchburg. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff in that matchup. Kettle Run at 13-1 on the year. The Titans of Lake Taylor at 12-2. We'll get coaches' thoughts as well as the players' thoughts on that in a moment here on Cova Sports TV on the Hash with Hatfield and 757 Sports Talk as well. For Carter and Colton, I'll let you go first this time. Carter and Colton, you can follow up here. At what point did you all realize this was a special team that could get back to the state championship? Was it in the offseason, or was there a particular turning point as far as a game goes or moment in your season where you knew, like, we got a chance to be playing in December yet again? Carter?
I mean, I've been playing with this select group of boys since I was about 6 years old, so I knew that what we had was special. But it was just a question of kind of who was going to fill in roles at key roles such as quarterback. And I'm really proud of Dyson for being able to step up and take on that role because he was previously a receiver. So, but I think the turning point for us was the loss of Millbrook. We had been spanking teams up until then, and then we got high on our ego, and it was kind of reality check. But, I mean, since then, I'd argue we're a different team. We came out from that game, played our two biggest regular season games of the year against Hanley and Sharando, and beat them both. So, I mean, I would consider that our turning point.
Awesome. And how about you, Colton? Do you agree with your brother there and Carter? And what's different at all about this team this year as opposed to in 2024?
Yeah, I agree with Carter on that. I feel like we were ahead of ourselves at Millbrook, hadn't quite developed as well as quickly as we had last year. So I feel like Millbrook was a game for us to just kind of slow down, get back to our basics and learn. And then I feel like Hanley, Sharando, we came out like swinging. But, I mean, I've been playing with this same senior class from 8th grade to now. And, I mean, we've won games throughout the whole of our high school career. So I just feel like us connecting and bonding over those years is what's kind of led us to this success this year. And just like our kind of will to push through and overcome like kind of what happened in the off season, to just kind of forget about it and move on and be like, we're still going to play football. We're still going to try to be a dominant team in the state. And well, we're in the States now. So.
Yeah, the numbers prove that out. Coach Christian, two very mature, heady young men you got here, and both Colton and Carter Lubbe. What makes them tick and make them unique? And also speak about not just those two, but guys like Dyson Tapscott making that transition from wide receiver to quarterback. I know he's had a lot of picks the last couple of years. Peter Kuzma, your leading tackler, and so many of these contributors have helped you get to 13-1, and you hope to finish it off at 14-1.
Yeah, like, again, all of these guys, just so much heart and, great competitors as well. And especially these two young men on here, like, these guys, they want to win. Like, they'll fight you tooth and nail to get that win. And And really, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, is like all these young men are just fighters with big heart and a passion for the game. So I really appreciate that and admire them for that.
For Colton and Carter here, we'll talk about Lake Taylor in a second. When you get LCA, you see that's the matchup in the semis. I know there were 6, and I know Gideon Davidson is gone from that team, as well as Easton Ware, who's a big factor in trenches. And the game's not going your way at halftime. Was there ever any doubt, though, that like we can make this comeback? What gave you all the belief that you were capable of doing what you did last week in the second half?
I feel like just coming out one play at a time, just trying to carve our way back into it, and playing as a team was just kind of our mindset. We never we just had bad things. We didn't play very well, and we had bad circumstances kind of happen to us in the first half of that game. And I mean, I don't feel like it should have been that far of a gap for us. We had like the punt inside the 10 that hit our player, and we fumbled, and they picked it up and scored on that. And then the last drive before the half was kind of bad for our defense, but I don't feel like we were ever really a worse team than them. So I mean, if they could put up 20, 28 in the first half, I feel like if we've already got 9, we can definitely put up enough points to overcome that. Was kind of just our mindset. And I didn't really have any doubt. I felt like if the boys really came together, I feel like we could have easily, well, not easily, but it would have been a battle, but I feel like we could have beat that team for sure.
What about for you, Carter?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the way you want to start out a big game like that, but I mean, I really think when you kind of get to a point where you realize it's possibly your last game, you just leave it all out on the field. And I'm really proud of all the seniors for like sticking out first drive back from the half, stopping them. And I mean, big time players make big time plays. So I mean, obviously Colton with that game winning touchdown, and I'm just the whole group I'm just proud of in general.
We're chatting with Carter Lubbe, Colton Lubbe, and Coach Delmar Christian, the Region 3B Coach of the Year. Colton, the Region 3B Defensive Player of the Year. Our guests here on the Hash with Hatfield as we get ready for the state championship game coming up at Liberty University in Lynchburg. Part of the double dip, it'll be Verona, Loudoun County in Class 4, kicking it off at 11:30 a.m., followed by Kettle Run. The Cougars taking on the Titans of Lake Taylor, the Region 3A champs. And, Coach, you got Lake Taylor. Hank Sawyer's a legend in this thing. He's won 3 rings. I know you saw the end of their game with Magna Vista, and I want to get the boys' thoughts on this as well here, your young men. But I know in hearing from Coach Sawyer, he mentioned how elusive your quarterback is in Tapscott and a lot of respect for your program. What jumps out about them on film? What stands out about their team?
Oh, man, those guys, they are, again, great team. Again, great legacy there. And the one thing that really stands out is just that they're very athletic. And really the number 5, the Johnson kid back there, he's hard to bring down. And that's the one thing that really stands out is you got to be able to tackle him if you want to be able to stay in this game. And he's a bruiser.
And for you guys, Colton and Carter, when you see a player like that run for 273 yards on Magna Vista, who had a great year and has those 2 long touchdown runs, does it bring back some of the flashbacks of playing Gideon Davidson last year? And what are the things you have to do better in the championship round this time as opposed to last year to get the outcome you want?
I feel like you just got to hit him low. He's a bigger dude. And, I mean, hit him in the legs, he should go down. But, yeah, that's about it. Just hit him low. I feel like we'll be good.
Carter?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. He's a good ball player. But I think we got our guys on defense too that can stop him and their offense in general. And I mean, I wouldn't underestimate our offense in the least, the way we've been putting up numbers in the past week. So we recognize that they have good players and they're a good squad, but we also have faith in our own team and our ability to come out in big games.
Awesome. Last 2 for you guys, and I'll finish up with Coach. And we thank you so much for coming on the program here, giving us some time on championship week. All right, I want you guys to talk about each other. Carter, you can go first. Tell us why Colton's one of the best around the state. And then Colton can follow up about why you're a player to watch out for, not just this year, but beyond that in 2026. Go ahead, Carter. What makes Colton such a factor for your Kettle Run football team?
I mean, yeah, obviously I've known the kid my whole life, been playing with him. Never really played with a kid as much heart as he has, so it's just really just a blessing and an honor to be playing alongside him because not too many dudes can say that they've grown up and played their last high school games ever with their brother right next to them. So, I mean, win or lose, it really is just a blessing to be out there with him. But, I mean, I don't doubt him in the least. Other people overlook him because of his size, but I don't see that as an issue for him in the least because, I mean, he's leading the first team defensive player in the district in the region. So, yeah.
Colton, he's not always that nice to you. I'm sure he's always getting on your nerves at times. But say some good things about him because he's an important key for your team on both sides of the ball, right?
Yeah, Carter's a dude. He fears nobody. He fears nothing. He's an athlete, and he's just when he gets on the field, he's an angry dude. He doesn't care who it is, how big they are. He wants to run through anybody that he sees. And I mean, he's just a dude that he doesn't like to be disrespected. And anybody that thinks they can run for a yard on him, he's gonna try to prove them wrong. And I admire that about him. It's been a blessing getting to play with him one last year.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to take Coach Christian off the screen. Don't worry, he won't hear this. This is a secret question here. I want to know who does the best impersonation of Coach Christian on the team A, and then B, you guys tell me who's the fastest dude on the team. You can pick yourself. I'm sure you're going to say you're faster than your brother, but give me who the fastest dude is on the team. And who gives the best impersonation of Coach Christian? I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Best impersonation is neither of us. It's I don't know if you know him, but it's Jonathan Taylor. I'll tell you that much.
JT, okay,
he can give you a good impersonation of Coach Christian.
That's why he's not on this tonight. He's because he can do the imitation. Okay, good to know.
Yes, sir. I'll own up to it one time and one time only. Carter's probably the fastest dude on the team. He's faster than me, but
really,
so one time only statement from me. But
wow, I'm surprised you give your brother. So that's got to mean something to you, Carter. That bro said that you're faster than him. You can outrun him when you pants him or do something you're not supposed to. But wow, how about that? Something else there. Good stuff. Well, I'll bring back in Coach Christian. He didn't hear any of that. He was muted. He missed all of that. But Coach Christian, to finish up here with you, I know it's a joy for you. Just speak on taking this job because a lot of people could have, given what transpired, they could have looked at it as not a pleasant situation. They could have gone elsewhere. What's it mean for you to be rewarded this way, getting Coach of the Year, seeing your kids get these kind of accolades and having a chance to redeem themselves and win the championship coming up Saturday? Because you do have a tall, Titan foe in front of you, but to get back here has got to be rewarding in itself.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's all about these young men, and it's an honor to be able to lead these young men because they're such great young men. And again, such great heart and great effort, and just again this commitment and passion to this one goal that we're all trying to reach. And unfortunately, it's only one team that can do it, and we put our work and. We're going to see where that puts us there at the end of the night on Saturday. So, really, that's what it is at the end of the day. And again, we're pleased to be back here, but getting there that's not the goal. It's about winning it. So, we really are focused on that at this point.
Well, I'm sure there's some things you even learned from an assistant standpoint going into the head coaching position, having been in this game a year ago now, back to it. But I also want to know, being that you are a JMU Duke, how pumped are you that your Dukes are in the college football playoffs too, my man? I mean, look, they get all the way there. They win the Sun Belt Championship. I do the ODU games for broadcasting, and my dad's a JMU alum, class of 77, so I hear about it all the time with this rural rivalry. Yeah, it's razzing me all the time about it. But it's got to be a memorable year for you on that front too, not to see just your kids get back to the state championship in your first year as a head coach, but your alma mater doing so well in the playoff.
Yeah, I can't say enough. And, the guys hear it all the time, and they know they actually have they have some alum in their family as well, these two young men. But, hey, this past weekend from Friday night, them winning their first ever conference championship game and the only one we've been allowed to play in, to Saturday us winning, and then Sunday us getting the bid and to the college football playoffs. Man, it was such a great weekend. Truly blessed.
Awesome. Before I let you run here, any final words you'd like to share about these young men and just the chance to play the state championship and what this year's meant to you? Because I know this is going to be something that they'll remember for a lifetime, and you always want the outcome to go your way, but certainly what you've done here to get to this point is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say about both these young men, they're brothers, and that's one of the more unique things, like to have two guys, and they play next to one another. They have two guys that play next to one another, and as brothers, and they're always around each other, but they complement each other so well. Like, really, I'm just truly just to get blessed to have coached them, and at the same time, it's just sometimes I'm in awe of what they're able to do. Just sometimes as a coach, you just have to stand back and be like, hey, you guys can figure it out, and they do in a lot of instances. So I just wanted my hats off to them and the whole team in regards to how they do that and work well together.
Terrific. Well, Colton Carter, hopefully coaches will make that number 7 guy have to run extra laps for what you guys shared earlier. But all the best to you guys on Saturday against the Titans of Lake Taylor, as they'll be the Region 3A champs taking on the Region 3B champs in the VHSL Class 3 state championship. Coach Delmar Christian, Colton Lubbe, Carter Lubbe, thank you so much. Congratulations and all the best this week and beyond.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
You got it. It's On the Hash with Hatfield. We'll take a timeout. We've got more coming your way. Keep it tuned, locked and loaded to 757 Sports Talk and On the Hash with Hatfield right here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll take a timeout and come back with more.